You know, the Avengers vs. X-Men rumors were all the rage before Robert Downey Jr., before San Diego Comic-Con. We all thought they were going to turn Avengers 5 into Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, after the success of X-Men 97 and Deadpool and Wolverine, it really felt like Marvel's going to just hard pivot into the mutants and the X-Men. But then that RDJ shit happened, and that, like, sucked all the air out of the room, and a lot of us thought, well, I guess the Avengers vs. X-Men rumors were false. But then some insiders and scoopers started saying that the Avengers and X-Men are still gonna face off before Secret Wars. Oh my god! And so we might literally be getting Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, and the Avengers, the X-Men fight each other in the multiverse. Okay, let's calm down. Let's take it with a grain of salt. It's like rumors and leaks coming from insiders, and you know how that game goes. But let's break it down. Let's talk about who's saying what, and then I will get super sweaty and nerdy and explain how this could actually work within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, so there's two main scoops, rumor things that we got to talk about. First of all, we have My Time to Shine, who was kind of hyping up Avengers vs. X-Men just like everybody else before San Diego Comic-Con. And she posted that Marvel is working on a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie. And this was, of course, teased and kind of set up in Deadpool and Wolverine. Hulk vs. Wolverine, awesome freaking thing from the comics. But on top of that, we have Alex Perez, who did this massive Discord Q&A recently. I'm actually still working on videos about a lot of the stuff he revealed in that Q&A. But one of the things he revealed is that there is still a plan for the X-Men and the Avengers to face off before Secret Wars. I guess technically he said before the multiverse saga ends. He says here, Marvel wants the Avengers and the X-Men to face off before the multiverse saga ends, and they really want for Wolverine and Hulk to have their fight scene moment. So that feels like the scoop that My Time to Shine is talking about is connected to what Alex Perez is talking about. And oh my god, that is just so damn juicy. So two very reliable people saying that Avengers vs. X-Men in some way, shape, or form is still on the table for before the multiverse saga ends. And you couple that with all of the lead up to San Diego Comic-Con, which again, man, everybody was like, dude, Avengers vs. X-Men just feels right. It feels like that's what they're going to do. Now, I really only see two different scenarios as for how Marvel will accomplish this with the Avengers fighting the X-Men. And I want to go over all of them and like get real sweaty and nerdy about it. But first, we have to acknowledge that this has to do with the post-credit scene of the Marvels. In the Marvels, we see Monica Rambeau in a different Earth with a Beast variant, with a variant of her mother, Maria Rambeau, in this universe known as Binary. And we also know that Charles Xavier is mentioned within that universe. Now, Alex is hinting that that Earth is the same Earth that Deadpool and Wolverine and X-23 and potentially Gambit, Channing Tatum Gambit, all now inhabit. He has explained that the basic canonical order of that particular universe is Days of Future Past, which happens in 2023, Deadpool and Wolverine, which happens in 2024, and then you have the Westchester incident, which happens in 2028, and then you have Logan, which happens in 2029. Now look, there's still a lot of confusion as far as like, okay, does that mean technically there are two Logans now in that timeline? Are there two Lauras? Is Laura not born yet? We also don't really understand what year it is in that timeline in the post-credit scene of the Marvels. But okay, so we think that's all the same universe. That's the X-Men universe. And it seems like Marvel spent a lot of effort to set that thing up. So that's likely going to be the universe that has X-Men that will fight against the Avengers. Now, let's get into the two ways this could happen, okay? Number one, this could actually happen within one of the Avengers movies. So we know that Avengers 5 is now Doomsday, and we know that Avengers 6 is still Secret Wars. Now, both of them going to be written by Marks and McFeely and directed by the Russo brothers. But we don't know what the plot of these movies is going to be. I mean, there are a lot of old rumors about what was going on in the Kang Dynasty. I recently did a video about that, breaking down plot leak and kind of thinking about what from that plot could just be now given to Dr. Doom with him taking over the role of Kang. But the point is, there could be a scenario where X-Men have to fight against Avengers in either of these next two Avengers movies, right? So it could be like a subplot of the crazy Avengers movies. And maybe this has to do with the incursion. And a lot of people are speculating that the Doomsday movie will end with the last incursion within the multiverse, a lot like the old Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars Time Runs Out comic book event. And if that happens, it's the perfect setup for an X-Men universe to be fighting against an Avengers universe. Earth 10005 versus Earth 616. And this could even be orchestrated by Doctor Doom. Maybe he just wants all of those heroes to be distracted while he goes to kill Eternity, absorb the powers of the Beyonder, or something like that. This could technically take place in the Secret Wars movie, because Secret Wars could be an entirely new universe, and we definitely think there's going to be either Battle World or a Battle World universe, right? There are rumors right now that maybe Doom's going to eliminate the superflow, which is the space between every universe, and just basically make one big universe out of what's left of the multiverse. But if all of these incursions are happening and everything's being destroyed, it's more likely that Doom will use some kind of crazy power to like grab up all the fragments of these destroyed timelines and mash them all together to create a single Battle World or Battle World universe. Either way, that world or universe would be inhabited by X-Men and by Avengers. And maybe you just literally have a regional battle. Maybe X-Men hate Avengers and Avengers hate X-Men, and that's something that Doom like creates for Battle World. And if they go with this option, like, I will like it. I will also be a bit confused as to why they didn't use the title Avengers vs X-Men, right? Like, I just think that's too juicy of a thing, and fans would get really excited about that and want to kind of pick a team very similar to what you had going on in Civil War with like the epic, Cap versus Tony thing. That was great and was really fun for promotion, social media, and just the fans in general. So that's the first option. And maybe that's what they'll do, right? But the second option is cooler to me. And in the second option, you would see Marvel Studios creating an additional movie within this multiversal saga, maybe between Doomsday and Secret Wars. And that movie would be Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, dude, this could even be Doctor Strange 3, right? Like, we have a lot of rumors about Doctor Strange 3. He's going with Clea. The Black Priests are involved, right? But maybe it's all about incursions and Avengers fighting X-Men. Like, imagine that. Like, Doctor Strange 3, Avengers vs. X-Men. Like, that's kind of lit. Maybe they bill it as a Battle World movie, right? It's Sean Levy, and he's just doing a movie within the Battle World setting that is Avengers vs. X-Men, right? And maybe that's just a movie. Maybe they just call it Battle World, Avengers vs. X-Men. And I suppose it's possible you even get an additional Avengers movie here. Like, you got Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. Maybe you got Avengers vs. X-Men somewhere in there too, under the Avengers title. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of different ways they could do this, like a Dark Avengers that's created by the RDJ Doctor Doom variant, and then he goes into the X-Men universe. You could do that. But those are really the only two options. It's either in one of the Avengers movies or it's its own movie. And either way, I'd be really excited. I prefer its own movie. I want it to be its own thing, and I want even more Battle World content. I think that would be lit. Avengers vs. X-Men is just so damn juicy. I also think it gets even more exciting when you introduce the multiverse. There's all kinds of crazy variants of X-Men and of Avengers that would be absolutely incredible to watch fight each other. Like, just as one super sweaty example, right? Like, you talk about Hulk and you talk about Wolverine, right? That's already an awesome fight, and we had it teased in Deadpool and Wolverine, right? But what if you got World Breaker Hulk or Maestro Hulk versus Old Man Phoenix? Literally a version of Wolverine that's at the end of time that has the Phoenix Force. Now that gets me going, man. Holy shit. But yeah, there's just a lot of crazy possibilities. But guys, real information here. Actual insiders and scoopers saying that Avengers vs. X-Men is still on the table. That's freaking epic. And let me know which one you'd prefer. Do you want it to be in the Avengers movies, or do you want it to be its own thing? Let me know. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.